I cannot take many more of these 10:30 start times, ladies and gentlemen. They are cutting very hard into my honk shoo me time. But you know what? It's okay because the ends justify the means because the Bruins win. That's right, Bruins fans. It is not that I get out because that is a 4-2 victory over the San Jose Sharks. I don't know if it was really ever in doubt. Actually, actually, no. It kind of was for a second there, but we will get into that in a little bit. First of all, first of all, I was kind of racing to get home yesterday because yesterday I went to Frozen Fenway. You can. I wonder how I felt about that. You guys, Boston is such a funny city. Uh, right behind me are two. Right behind me, a UMass fan are two people loudly cheering for BC and like a sea of UMass fans. And one of them goes to UVM, and the other one is a freaking freshman at Emerson. And they're talking about how one of them knows Cutter Gauthier, and like Boston is such a funny city because it's like 700,000 people, and yet no matter what, you always know at least one person's relative. It is a super massive, tight knit community where you just know everybody, and that it kind of makes it fun. Except when there's some schmuck from UVA and Emerson behind you screaming in your ear about how much UMass sucks. Northeastern Yukon game was kind of fun though. It was fun seeing people chanting good Huskies, bad Huskies, real Huskies, bad Huskies. But then we get to the UMass game and UMass shits the bed. Burke gets 2 goals for frickin' for BC, and UMass loses 4-2.
But that's okay because BC is still unranked.
Anyway, so we hop on the tee after the UMass game. We head home, and what are the storylines for tonight? The San Jose Sharks up to this point have played 20, 20 home games and have accrued a home record this season of 4-10-6. They are halfway through their home games and they have won 4 of them. Compare that to the Bruins, and we're 19-3. That is because we actually have aspirations for getting past the second round this year. The Sharks, their aspirations are just, Connor Bedard. Although, to be fair, they have some ground to make up on that because is who boy, Chicago and Columbus. You might get Adam Fantilli, Sharks fans. Y'all might get Adam Fantilli. But the other big storyline was that AJ Greer in the game against the Kings only played about halfway through the game because it turns out he was sick. He kind of came down with the case of not feeling good. So this means that we're going to see Wagner playing tonight, right? Well, instead, we're rolling with 7 defensemen, meaning that Jacob Zaboral, for the first time since November 23rd, is finally playing a game in the NHL again. We never actually sent him down to Prov, which is actually where I'm going today. I'm going to the Providence Bruins versus Utica Comets game today. That's going to be fun. But we never actually sent Zaboral down to Prov. Instead, we've just been playing. Instead, he's just been the bench warmer, which honestly I find a little bit concerning. I feel like at this point he should have a few games in relief of Carlo, especially after the first goal allowed tonight by Allmark. But we'll get into that in due time. And in due time is in just a few minutes because puck drops and within 63 seconds, 63 has already scored a goal for the Bruins. Brad Marchand proving that he's still got it. He dangles past a good chunk of the Sharks defense and right past James Reimer to put the Bruins up 1-0. Good to see him still bust out that speed. But he's not the only one still improving something. Craig Smith, for the first time in 18 games, finally records a point. Look, I don't think that Smith is necessarily cut out for this team. I can see him being a deadline casualty and us bringing up someone like Georgi Merkulov or maybe even Johnny Beecher to fill in for him. Maybe we even bring on Oscar Steen. He's also a good one. But for the time being, let's just be happy that Smith scored a goal. He blasted from the high slot to right past James Reimer, and the Bruins are up 2-0. But I beg you all, do not blink, because this victory is short-lived, and Jack Edwards even says, seems like it's one of those nights, I guess. Alexander Barabanov with a very clean entry. He does a spinorama towards the goal. It completely throws Brandon Carlo off his game. Like Carlo, pretty good defense up until then, but Barabanov is stopping on a dime, and you are just gliding into the wall. Well, so Barabanov is completely uncovered, doing a spinorama as an assist. A spinorama assist. There we go. He spins around and fires it towards Logan Couture, who's right up in the slot to chip it in and to cut the lead to 1. And they almost get a second one. It's just that y'all push the puck into the net before the second. Y'all push the puck into the net after the win. But like, gosh, this game is popping so early. I did not expect this to. I did not expect it to be like this. I expected it to be like the Sharks players are all kind of dejected. They're like, we have to play against one of the best teams in the league, and we have to play against the best team in the league, and we're legit one of the worst. I just want to go to bed. That sort of shit. And like, to be fair, the Bruins are outplaying the Sharks, but then again, it's kind of the Sharks. It's the Sharks. Come on. Like, yes, they have Evander Kane, not Evander Kane. I got EKs mixed up. They have Erik Karlsson. They have Mario Ferraro. They have Timo Tomash and Logan. They have decent players. It's not coming together for them, except in the last minute, because both teams just trade insane chances. Both goalies have to stand on their freaking heads just to make sure that this game goes into first intermission at 2-1. And the second period goes pretty much exactly how you would expect the second period to go for the Bruins. Puck drops. Pasternak gets 2 really good chances against Reimer. One where he goes pretty much right up to the net and shoots, and then he collects the rebound and shoots again. Neither of them go in. So already off to not that great of a. But honestly, this may be one of the most concerning second periods I've seen the Bruins play all season. Now, I know Erik Karlsson, Mario Ferraro, Marc-Edouard Vlasic, the Sharks have good defensemen, but holy crap, they keep the puck in the Bruins zone for almost three whole minutes. It's completely uninterrupted in a time frame where Derek Forbort is pretty much just stranded in the middle of the Bruins zone. Cannot get to cannot shift off. The Bruins cannot get any sort of separation that would allow them to actually get the puck into that would allow them any sort of reprieve. And the Bruins, because they can't get any sort of separation, their best chance of actually getting the puck out of their own zone is to just ice it and barely have enough chance and uh, at such a rate where it just is where they get a shift off, but just barely end up fully changing out before the puck crosses over, which they don't. I mean, they ice the puck, but they don't do it in the way that I suggested. And in one of them, I guess is Monty tries to call for a timeout but doesn't, and there's a bunch of confusion because Scoreboard's supposed to be off the ice, but he's being sent back out, and now he's in the penalty box for the delay of game. Honestly, I have no idea what happened. I cannot wrap my head around exactly what happened there. I do know that the Bruins did end up playing a little bit harder while on the PK, and the Sharks do not get a single power play goal all game, which just makes it even more infuriating that after Carlo's penalty for slashing ends, which is pretty much right after which is pretty much right after the Bruin, which is pretty much right after the delay of game call. I think Lindholm has the puck and he just gives it away. He gives it away. He gives it away in his own zone. The Sharks cycle it, and then and then Mario Ferraro from pretty much the blue line fires, and it bounces off of, and I think it bounces off of the back of friggin' Lindholm's shoulder and into the net to tie the game at 2. Wonderful, fantastic way to tie the game. I love it. I hate it. But the game eventually returns to a sort of normalcy as Matt Benning, Nick Foligno, and Gadjevich, I forget his first name, Benning, Foligno, and Gadjevich, all get into a little bit of a tussle. They're all trying to hug, and they all go to the box, which means Bruins are on the power play. Bruins are on the power play, and during this is Pasternak moves to open space because again the defense is has all shifted to one side, and Marchand is looking for a passing lane. He's looking, and Pasternak just skates out to the slot and fires it on net. Scott Harrington would eventually go to the box for interference after a little bit afterwards, and that would be the end of the second period with 1:25 still left on the power play. Then we go to the third. Puck drops, and so still on the PP, and Hampus Lindholm, beautiful shot, shoots from pretty much the blue line. It ricochets off of Jacob Megna's shin and into the net for to put the Bruins at 4-2. Except it doesn't, because Nick Foligno is just a little bit offsides as the puck is as the Bruins are making that offensive zone entry. And again, I don't think this really. I mean, yeah, it sucks that the game. It sucks that it's 3. It sucks that the goal is taken away, and I can say that that shouldn't matter. But at the same time, if you allow stuff like, I can see the other argument of like, okay, if we extend the blue line by a little bit and make it so that they like, where does it stop? Where does this stop? I can see that as the as like, that's why they don't want to give any sort of leeway to that. Anyway, I got a little bit tired out at this point because it's 1 in the freaking morning and I've been at Fenway Park for and I've been at Fenway Park for a good like 8 hours. But but and the Bruins look just as tired as me. Jack Edwards kind of makes a good point about how why do the Bruins have to sorry why do the Bruins have to play in LA, then go up to San Jose, then back down to Anaheim, when you could just have games have 2 games in the same have like LA and Anaheim as the back to back, and have San Jose as the game you play on Thursday. Seems like unnecessary travel and a lot more carbon emissions in a city that already has a bunch of it. But still, the Bruins look tired, but so do the Sharks because James Reimer completely overcommits to Patrice Bergeron on the 4-2 goal. Well, he completely overcommits. It's Bergie passes to Pastrnak, who settles it with his skate and then blasts it in to put the Bruins up 4-2. We go into the Ford F-150 Final Five. I'm not gonna lie, this is where I passed out on the couch. And hey, the Bruins didn't give up another goal, and the Sharks didn't give up another goal. So the game has ended at 4-2. The game tonight against Anaheim. Thankfully, it starts at 8:30, not at 10:30. Oh man, I cannot do another 10:30 start right now. And I think that's gonna do it for me for right now. Thank you all so much for watching. There's a like button. There's my channel. There's the most recent video. There's my Twitch channel, and Tampa Bay Thrives to help kids with mental health issues. I will probably see you guys later tonight. Take care.